Hey everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. I've unboxed the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, and I decided to start with the base set. I played through the first adventure to kind of learn the game, and I know I usually do that on camera, but I didn't have a camera at the time and just started to play to see how the game worked. I was sort of fresh off of my playthrough of Mansions of Madness, so I actually found this game actually easier to play. Maybe because I was coming into Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition a little cold, and having played a similar type of game using a similar system from the same company, this game played very easily for me. And today I'm going to be attempting to continue the adventures that I started, and I'm using two players from the base game, two characters from the base game. Number one is Legolas and the other one is Gimli. Thought they'd make a good pair. I was playing each of the characters with their default role, similar to a class if you're familiar with role-playing games. So no changes there as I played through the first time. I didn't make so much use of Legolas's special ability. I don't know if I used that during my first playthrough, but that might become important in the future, especially since it seems like you can spend that inspiration point to move without provoking, and that might help out. Gimli was great too. I don't think he was doing the damage, certainly not at the range that Legolas was doing, but Gimli was great because after you play a card from a combat, after you attack, you can take one card and put it on the top of your deck so you can use it again very soon. That one I definitely used and liked a lot. So I'll be continuing my playthrough today. I won't be putting the camera a lot on the app. I'm mostly going to focus on the board, but there's something I wanted to check out and see how it worked. I scored around 12 lore. I don't really think there's anything I can do with that. It did record that we picked up the extra rations, so Gimli found that before. It belongs to the group. I guess it could be passed around, I'm not sure. But I don't think I have enough lore to really do anything with. So if I go to experience, it looks like I might be able to perhaps purchase an additional card. Let me take a look at those. Alright, if I'm reading and understanding correctly, I can maybe purchase this Desperate Defense. And it just basically says that before you or another hero in your space performs a last stand, you may discard this skill to add one success. It also has other options like Guard 1 and Rest 2, so it looks like you can do several things with this. It's not really adding anything valuable to any tests, but if we can have the card readied, that might be a pretty good one to have. So I'm not really sure what I click from here. Okay, I guess that's alright. Let's take a look and see if there's anything for Legolas. I think I kind of like Resourceful. It says after you prepare this skill, gain 1 inspiration. At the end of your turn, you may discard this skill to gain 1 inspiration and scout 1. Alright, the app had us set up a couple of battle boards here, and it says we're entering an inner courtyard. We're supposed to put our heroes in the starting space and scout 3. So we can draw 3 cards and I think choose 1 to prepare. Alright, let's see what we've got with Gimli. I think we're supposed to start... I actually didn't do this in my first playthrough. It was an oversight. Actually put me at more of a disadvantage. I didn't already have 1 card prepared. I didn't have anything prepared. You're supposed to take your roll card number 1 and have it prepared. So we've done that this time. So let's draw. We've got kinship. This says a nearby hero. Before a nearby hero rests, you may discard this skill for that hero to reveal 2 additional cards. If they are a dwarf, you may scout 1. Okay. The unyielding spirit and restless axe. I need to prepare one of these. I actually misread that, me and my old eyes. It's actually when a hero tests, not rests, but tests, you can discard this to reveal, to have that hero reveal 2 additional cards. That's pretty good. Why don't we ready kinship, and then we know we have a success here. Let's just put both of these on top of the deck. Alright, Legolas here. We'll draw 3. And we've got keen eyes. Your ranged attacks can target enemy 1 additional space away. I used that one a lot last time and I liked that. Resourceful, that's the one I just bought. That one's good because it gives you some inspiration. And when you test, when you test, if you do not reveal any successes, you may discard this skill to convert all, what is those, fortune to successes, something like that, or fate, I can't remember what that's called. I think I'm going to try my new card and put, maybe I'll put 1 of these on top and 1 on the bottom. So here's a question. Did I just buy the exact same card? And I just have 2 of them now. That's what it looks like. And it says after you prepare this skill, gain 1 inspiration. So would I have 2 inspiration now? Since that one is readied at the start of the game? That's what I'm reading. So we're getting the board set up. We've added some walls, bushes, a boulder, and a fire. From the shadows surrounding you step menacing forms, torch in hand. An orc shouts a warning. We have guests. Defend the courtyard. Alright, we've got an orc. Was that a hunter? I think I got the wrong figure there. I think we needed a bow. Hunter, and then a marauder over here. It says a rusted old portcullis rattles closed behind your assailants. But beyond it, you see others gathering their arms and courage. If you could jam the mechanism, it would slow down what reinforcements may come. Place a threat token as indicated. So it's got to go over here. So it says on the other side of the ruin, a rude shelter has been erected. And it's the largest structure you've seen. Its canvas door has been painted with a strange sigil, a twisting, jagged shape that is both foreign and familiar. Your lore increases by 2. As your foes spring forward, you grit your teeth. These orcs from Mount Graham, and the armament of the thieves is beyond what you expected. A greater threat is at work here. You must find answers, and quickly, for you have but moments before The might of this company is awakened and brought to bear against you. Find the leader of the orcs and thieves. That's our objective. So I am not yet familiar with what this terrain does. Let's take a look at bush. After you end your turn in a space with a bush, you may test, is that wit? If you pass, become hidden. So I'm just for myself, I'm going to put that card over here. We have a fire pit. If you attack while in a space with a fire pit, you may discard a card with a leaf on it from the test to add pierce or smite. Okay. And then, not statue, we're looking for boulder. Boulder. If you test to negate wounds or fear while in a space with a boulder, you may convert one leaf to one success. And I've got to get the right word for that. Okay, it's called fate. It's called fate. Fate and inspiration. So, remember, oddly, I have Legolas here readied with 2 resourceful cards. Interesting. I really didn't realize that I'd bought the same card, but hope it's worth it. It is the action phase. Alright, I'm going to try something here that's a bit rash, but we're going to start by moving Legolas here, and I'm going to move him again right here into this space, and then I'm going to use his special ability by spending an inspiration to move one space without provoking attacks, and he's going to move into this space. And then as his second action, we're going to tap on that, and it says the portcullis is caked with rust but seems to be functional. I'm a little worried this might be a might test or something, but it says we can try to sabotage it. Finding the chain that raises the portcullis, you attempt to unbalance the weights and break it. And we have to test wit. Well, his wit is 3. We've got to see how many successes we can get here. So we're going to turn over 3 cards. We've got 2 possibilities. 1 more possibility. And 1 success. So I guess I will spend his inspiration point, his last one that he had, and that's going to give me 2 successes. So I've typed those into the app. Let's see if that's enough to do anything. The chain snaps, shrieking and clattering as the mechanism shatters. Threat decreases by 6, and discard this threat token. Well, I didn't know what that would do, and I wonder if I did that too soon. It reduced threat, but I don't remember there even being threat yet. I wonder if I wasted that. Well, it's Gimli's turn. Let's have him move 2 spaces. We're going to put these cards into the discard pile for Legolas. And since he's the hunter and has a ranged weapon, why don't we have Gimli make an attack here with his battle axe. So we're going to be testing might. And his armor, just remembering, his armor decreases his agility by 1, but not his movement. Alright, so might of 4. We have nothing. We have 1 success and nothing right now. 2 successes. We have 2 successes on that test. That means we can spend and do 6 hits of damage to this hunter. Alright, well 6 hits is enough to kill that hunter, and we do get a point of inspiration there. So let's see what happens now. I guess we're going to shift over and end our action phase. Shadow phase begins. Move 1 and attack Legolas. Now there's a wall here, he can't do that. So we got to say no target. Howling a fierce war cry, the orc marches towards you. Move 2 spaces. 1, 2. So he's coming in to get us. The shadow deepens. Threat increases by 4. Well, now threat is increasing. So perhaps you weren't supposed to get there in 1 turn, and Legolas was so fast and agile, he got there, took care of the chain on the portcullis, and we may have done that too quickly. So live and learn. I guess we'll know that in case we run into that in the future. Well, it's up to us. It's over to us again, so let's see what we can do here. Gimli's right there. Why don't we have him make an attack on this orc? He's going to test with his battle axe again. We've got nothing, nothing, 1 success, 2 successes. And I think we could spend an inspiration for an additional 2 hits. That would be 8 and a sunder, from what I'm understanding. But maybe we'll start with a hit of 6, see what happens. Totally did that wrong. We're actually supposed to reset our decks. So I shouldn't have done that test yet. Alright, we get to Scout 2. I'm going to prepare this Poet's Heart. It's got a nice rest feature. This one with the inspiration mark, I guess I'll just put it on top. And I need to Scout 2 for Legolas as well. We have Light-Footed and Tireless. I think I'm going to go with Tireless. It allows us to perform an action that we haven't done this turn. And I'm going to keep this this Light-Footed because it has a success on it. We're going to put that on top. Alright, we're going to let Legolas start here. He's going to move 1, 2, and for his second action he's going to check out this token. A lean-to displays a strange symbol painted on its front. Your foes position themselves to defend this structure. Their leader is surely within. I can hear my kids coming in the house now. It says sneak forward, taunt the hero. I think I'm going to sneak forward since this is Legolas. Taking care to avoid placing your feet on the treacherous rubble, you pad forward. We need to test our agility. So that's pretty decent here for Legolas. This is one of his best. 1, got a success, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I don't have any inspiration. I probably should have used one of my resourceful cards, because it says at the end of your turn you may discard this skill to gain 1 inspiration, or Scout 1. Being a newbie here myself, and have already wasted my action to lock down that chain, I think I'm going to allow myself a little flexibility here. I'm going to allow myself to have an inspiration point. So that would have been the smart thing to do. So I'm actually going to give myself 2 successes here and see what happens. You reach the shelter on silent feet. After a little searching, you find a weak part of the structure and give it a kick. You hear a muffled shout as the whole thing collapses, and an enormous, scarred orc slashes his way out of the wreckage. Discard the search token, then place Gulgotar as indicated. This is the orc leader. Alright everybody, this is the figure from the expansion pack. It actually allows me to have the figure for the orc leader. I guess if I didn't have him, I would have just put a banner or something on one of the orcs, I'm guessing. It says, the scarred orc bears a large tattoo on his blubberous arm, the same strange sigil you saw painted on the tent. The symbol is an amalgamation of orc superiority and something foreign or perhaps very old, like a twisted script of Westernese inscribed by an evil hand. Regardless, the reverence of all those around him mark this orc as their leader, and if defeated, surely the foes will flee. Final objective is to defeat this big guy. And I guess he's here. Well, I think it's time to use our tireless. I can discard this skill to perform an action that you've not performed this turn. Let's make an attack on this guy. So using I think I spent that inspiration. Using our bow, we're going to test our agility. So here we go. We have 1 success, 2 successes. That's going to be 5 hits on this big fellow. Alright, he's got a lot of hit points here, but that's 5. Yes, he can attack. The Orc Lieutenant knows much of battle and tactics and combat, to your dismay. What is this? It's going to cancel. Wit. Wit will negate. That's a lot of damage. 3 and 3. Let's see what we can do. Alright, this is where the action is. We're testing wit, it seems. We've got nothing, 1 success, and nothing. So we can only reduce a single point of this damage. Let's reduce the physical damage by 1, since Legolas can only take 4, and that would be 3 damage on him. So let's make that 2, and then we'll keep the fear as 3. Alright, I've given these a good shuffle. Let's start with the physical damage. It's going to be 2 points. He has crushed. Deplete one of your tokens, then flip this card face down. Now, extra rations. Gimli has that, so I don't think that this does anything with Legolas. So we're just going to put this as face down damage, and then weariness, we'll put that one face down. Okay, we're going to get 3 of these. Gloom, it's face down. Delusions, discard 1 inspiration. We're out of inspiration. And finally, Troubled, keep this card face up. After you or a nearby hero suffers 1 or more fear from darkness, that hero suffers 1 additional. Okay. Now, I think even though there is a wall here, I think these guys are still considered nearby. And I'm wondering if I could have allowed Gimli to use this. Discard this for a test for a hero to reveal 2 additional cards. So when you are negating damage, I'm assuming that's also considered a test. I need to clear up some of these terms and make myself more familiar with them. But maybe I could have given Legolas there 2 additional cards. So there's 2 questions I have from this. Does that work through the wall? And I'm assuming it does. And then could it work when you are negating damage? And I'm assuming that is also a test. Let me see if I can find some answers. Alright, interesting. Answer number 1 with wall. The terrain. Spaces on opposite sides of a wall token are not adjacent. A hero or enemy cannot move across. So not adjacent. If an ability such as Keen Eyes allows your hero to resolve a ranged attack that's up to 2 or more spaces away, it may be possible for your hero or enemy to resolve a ranged attack against a target that is on the opposite side of a wall token. So interesting that a ranged attack, if you have a special ability, it might be possible. But only if you have a special ability that helps you resolve a ranged attack. However, something else, it wasn't covered here in the book, so I don't think that Gimli's kinship there could have helped, not through a wall. And for my second question, negating damage is considered a test. Alright, so if any of that has been modified, or if some sort of ruling has come out about walls and using special abilities, if I made a mistake here, let me know. But I don't think Gimli's kinship could have helped. I do think if there was no wall there, I think it could have been considered a test and allowed him 2 extra cards, but not through a wall. Alright, I'm going to do something I did not do in my previous game, and that is I'm going to move out of this space, which I think provokes this orc. Alright, so it says the orc raises his weapon overhead and bares his jagged teeth. We need to make a might check, and otherwise we're going to take 2 damage. So let's get this started here with a might check. I'm going to pull back just a little. We have a possible success and nothing there. However, the boulder is on this area. It says if you test to negate damage while in a space with a boulder, you may convert one fate to a success. So I could actually convert that to 1 success and reduce a point of damage. Now, Gimli's armor, does it do something? If you would test, and those are wit and spirit. Gosh, my eyes. These are tiny print for me. No, wisdom, spirit, or wit. To negate, you may test might instead, so that doesn't help me here. So, thanks to the boulder, we can reduce that damage by 1. So, instead of 2 points of damage, we'll only take 1. And it's a face down. So Gimli comes out of there, and he moves a second. This is his first space. He's going to move into a second space, flanking this big guy, and he's going to attempt an attack. Let's see what we can do with our might here. We've got a lot of fate and 1 success. We could spend our 1 inspiration, and we could spend that to get 2 successes. 2 successes will do 6 hits. So let's bring that against this guy. Wow. 6 hits didn't do it. Still not enough to take the big guy down, but at least he won't counterattack right now. Wait a minute. He is an elite, I think. So I think he can counterattack. So I'm going to say yes. Yeah, he's not a regular orc. Golgotar uses his superior bulk to force you back, eventually knocking you flat on the ground. Strength can negate this damage. That's 4 physical damage and 1 fear. And after this attack, you have to discard any boons that you have. Well, I don't have any more inspiration. That's 1 success. And that's all I've got. 1 success, so I can reduce this damage by 1 point, and that's it. I would say let's reduce the physical damage by a single point. So that's going to give us 3 of these. We have a deep bruise. Discard 2 prepared cards or suffer 2 face down damage. Then discard. Well, I'm going to discard these 2 prepared cards. And then we discard this card so it doesn't stick around. So I'm just going to put that on the bottom of the deck here. And then we have another one, stunned. Flip 1 damage and 1 fear face up, then discard. Alright, don't have any. And then the last point, sudden sickness. Discard all of your inspiration and then discard this card. Alright, so we don't have any of these sticking around. And we get 1 fear. Flip this card face down. So if I did that right, Gimli just ends up with 1 face down fear. Alright, it's telling me to move this guy 1 space and attack, but there's no target. So he's going to move 2 spaces. He's going to move in here with us. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Increased threat. Alright, I think we've triggered something here. A bandit archer on the high wall. On a high wall loses a shaft with a practiced precision as more enemies scramble into the courtyard. Gimli. Gimli! He suffers 2 wounds, and it looks like his agility. This was from Gimli's test. I'm going to take that success and put it on top because that's one of his special abilities. And Gimli, actually, his agility is reduced by 1, so we can only draw a single card. We're going to draw that 1 success, and we're going to suffer 1 wound from that arrow. And we get a face down wound card. Actually, I found another face down wound card here with Gimli. I guess he has two. I forgot where the other one came from. Maybe when he provoked or something. Place one Goblin Scout. Alright, we've got some reinforcements coming. Alright, so I had to place two scouts over here, and they get this little banner to indicate that they are different. It helps me track them on the application. So that was a total of 3 Goblin Scouts that appeared. So we got to reshuffle our decks and scout 2 cards. Gimli has those extra rations, and it says at the start of the rally phase I can deplete 1 token here and discard 1 damage. So I think I'll do that. Let's see if we can scout and prepare anything worthwhile. Desperate Defense. It says before you or another hero in your space performs a last stand. This is the card I bought, so let's prepare that. I think I liked that. This other one is a success. I'm going to put that on top of the deck. Let's check and see if we have anything for Legolas that would help him. Immortality, rest 2, strike 2. That sounds good. Let's do that. Let's prepare this immortality card and this honed agility. We need inspiration to use this, and I don't have any right now. So let me put that on the bottom. Alright, I'm really hoping that if we take this boss down, that the others might run away. Let me start with Gimli here. He's going to make an attack. Alright, so we're testing his might, and we've got 1 success, and what is that? Fate. 2 successes. Alright, 2 successes. And let's see if that can take him down. Alright, so here we go. 2 successes is 6 hits. Alright, remove Golgotar. You or a nearby hero gain 1 inspiration. Maybe I'll give that to Legolas. Golgotar falls to his hands and knees, gasping for air and spitting dark, viscous blood. You step forward to subdue him, but something in the orc's carriage gives you a moment's warning. In a flash, he lashes out and attempts to sweep your legs from beneath you with his own. The hero who defeated Golgotar tests agility. That's not good for Gimli. Well, as before, this was Gimli's attack. Didn't we have... Yeah, we drew 4. So I'm going to take one of those successes and put it on top as part of his special ability. So when I test agility, I only get to use 1 card, and it only gives me 1 success. So I'm going to add that success in, and let's see what it says. It says, before you even strike the ground, he rains his feet and brings his massive fist down onto your chest. The impact of your fall and the strike of his hand land at the same moment. You suffer 3 face-down damage. Place Golgotar in a space with the hero who tested. Continue your assault. So he's not done. So 3 face-down damage takes me to 4 points out of 6 for Gimli. And we got to keep fighting. Well, Gimli has another attack action available to him, so let's let him make that test now. So he's going to make a second attack. First card is a success. Second card is a success. Third card is a fate. And a fate. So we got 2 successes there. I'm going to take one of those and put it on top of my deck. But that's going to be another 6 hits to this guy. Let's see what happens now. Whoa! Like we haven't even done anything to him. Can the enemy attack? Yeah. Golgotar taunts you in between brutal blows from his blade. Is that wit? Wit can negate some of this damage. 4 and 2. Let's see. It says if we need to test our wit, we can test our might instead. So let's do that. We're gonna test might. We got 1 success because of that other one we did. 1 success. All right. And let me think. All right, so we got 1 success there. And I think I'm going to use guard from this desperate defense. Guard 1. So that's going to allow us to negate 2 of the damage. So I'm going to take 1 off of the physical damage since he suffered 4 already. Because 5, 6, that's going to put him out. No, he can only take 2 more points. This is going to be difficult. All right, tell you what, let's save this desperate defense. See if I can use it more effectively than that. I'm going to suffer 4 damage and 2 fear. I can negate 1 of those damage points. So I think I'm going to have that be the fear. So I do suffer 1 fear. And it says flip it face down. So he has 2 out of 4 fear. Alright, so this is going to be last stand efforts here. We reduced that fear by 1. It says we have to discard, if we suffered any physical damage, we have to discard 1 inspiration, and we didn't have any inspiration. So we need to do a last stand. Is this damage or fear? It is damage. So we just need to test 1 agility, interesting enough. But we do have this desperate defense. Before you or another hero in your space performs a last stand, you may discard this card to add 1 success. I'm going to say that we use this and we pass this test. It says discard all face down damage. That's going to be all of the face down damage. Gain 1 inspiration and continue the adventure. So all of that damage we're going to discard, and we gain 1 inspiration, and Gimli is back on his feet. Well, at the end of Gimli's turn, we're going to have him do a rest, discard at the end of turn. Let me check the timing on that. Yeah, this is right. This is after you take both of your actions. We will discard Poet's Heart and Rest, and we can discard 2 face down fear or damage, and that's going to be his 2 face down fear. So that means Gimli's now clear of all damage, like a fresh start, but he has no cards prepared anymore. He's used everything. Alright, Legolas. Wonder if he can bring him down. Let's make an attack here with the bow. What does that fire pit do? Let me take another look at this. If you attack while in a space with a fire pit, you may discard a card with a fate from the test to add Pierce or Smite. If you attack while in a space with a fire pit, so the enemy doesn't have to be in that space, you have to be in that space. Okay. What if I don't know if this is going to be worth it, but what if I pay an inspiration and move 1 space without provoking attacks and move into the fire space? I hope this wasn't a waste. Then I still have 2 actions left. We're going to have Legolas make a ranged attack. And he's going to shoot with his bow using agility. We have Arrogant. Precise Strike, that's a success. Fate, which we're going to use for Pierce. And another Fate. So 1 success, but we do have the Pierce quality. Let's see what happens. Alright, here we go. 1 success is 2 hits, but we did have Pierce. And we did 2 damage. Is there anything else we can do? It says with Immortality, strike 2. When you attack, discard to add 2 hits. Let's discard this and add 2 hits. And I don't think I have anything else. Nope. Alright, so that got him down. Can the enemy attack? I don't think that he can. He does not have that ranged marker on him, so the answer is wait a minute. I mean, Gimli's in there. Alright, this didn't come up in my first playthrough that I remember, or I think I actually allowed a counterattack on another hero in my first playthrough. I still won the game, but this is saying when the app provides the hero with a counterattack, it says here, after a hero attacks an enemy group, the enemy group may be able to attack the hero who attacked it. So he can't attack Legolas. So that's what I'm seeing. So we're going to say no, he can't attack. So I'm going to have Legolas make another attack on this thing, the boss, and we're going to test our agility again. Got nothing, one success, nothing. Please be a fate. Yes! We wanted a fate because we're using this fire pit. I don't know, maybe we set our arrows on fire or something. But we got one success, and we can add pierce. So let's see if this is enough to drop this guy. And it looks like it might be. Remove Golgotar. You or a nearby hero gain 1 inspiration. I'm going to let Legolas take it. And we're going to remove this big figure from the board. The enormous orc roars and looks in disbelief at the blood soaking in his furs and armor. Ignoring what should be a mortal wound, he swings his blade in a wild arc, driving you back. Then he turns and throws himself through a weak section of the old stone wall. It crumbles before him, and more orcs pour through to attack you. Oh no. You turn the bandit fortifications against these new arrivals, and they soon retreat, leaving their dead and dying behind. Golgotar, however, is not among the casualties as you had hoped. In full retreat, you surmise that the orc is headed north toward reinforcements or home. Wishing to finish your task and granted no respite, you take but a moment's rest, then gather your gear and begin your hunt. The heroes have defeated Golgotar once, though they will need to face him again before their quest is complete. Lore increases by 2. Each hero receives 4 experience. Choose one hero to gain the Nemesis title. Why don't we say Legolas? Legolas is the one who defeated him the second time. Alright everybody, that is going to conclude my second game of Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. I did not video my first playthrough. This second one with the battle with the boss here, I did. Gimli took down the boss the first time, Legolas the second, and I looked for a card that says Nemesis, but I didn't see anything. So let me know if I've missed that. Maybe that's something that the app tracks. But I did see titles, but I didn't see a Nemesis title. My eyes are getting older, so maybe I misread something, but I just didn't see that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I am definitely still learning the game, but having a blast. It is not difficult to play. I'm finding most of my questions answered. But let me know if I did something wrong that you spotted. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll play some more in the future. Take care.